Hello.
Hi,
How are
hi.
you?
I'm angry
Why angry?
because this guy canceled it in last moment.
No,
That's why I'm angry.
he has helped us since he has communicated. So I like people who communicate. It's better when they communicate than not
Appear.
attending. Yeah.
Yeah, but at last moment, that's like I
So
would
he
say
works alone. He
expected.
doesn't have a team.
Yes, but it was in last second, so he could not ask anyone to replace him, which is really also something. But that is my country, so
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I hope when you explain to him, he will understand the how it can be done.
Yes, yes, for sure. I saw the Zimbabwe shared presentation, and he
Yes.
also, this Goran also shared presentation. Okay, I'll go quickly through that. And otherwise, it's not a problem for me since I've been involved in the adaptation processes here. But, it's really not fair.
Yeah, I can imagine, of course, considering how we had prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I hope it can also be nice. Let me see. I had told the Lesotho people to also prepare something. I'm trying to get in touch.
okay, okay.
I hope they will attend.
Susan, hi.
Hi, hi, good to see you. How are you both?
Yeah, fine.
Fine,
We're
fine.
fine.
How are you?
I'm good, good, good. Yeah, busy with this global forum. Huh? There is so much coordination and yeah. Oh. I'd
Yes,
rather,
yes.
I'd rather want to work with you and not deal with all those partners and all these practical stuff. But yeah, it's soon over. 1 month.
Are you at home or in office?
I'm at home today. Yeah, I'm at home today. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm at home today. It was really raining today, so I didn't want to go to the office in the rain. I
Yes,
usually
yes.
bike. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Sometimes it's good to stay at home.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I
sometimes it's a
like,
good.
office and
No, me
this
too,
like,
me too. Exactly.
yeah.
But sometimes it's also a bit quieter, and it's yeah, you take the time going to the office and so on. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, just to let you know that a participant from Bosnia and Herzegovina canceled for today. So he provided
No,
presentation and asked
no,
me just to go through. And I'm
no.
like, just
No,
just
no, no. He
just
couldn't
told
send
Sheila,
someone
hi,
else.
I'm angry now, but it's okay for me since I'm involved in
Yeah,
adaptation in
yeah.
Bosnia and
No, of
Herzegovina.
course.
It's okay, but
And you
he's a
are.
team lead, so come
Oh,
on.
couldn't he send someone else? Another. I
No,
mean, it's
that the
also.
last moment, it was like,
No,
but
no.
okay, yeah,
Oh, that's a
what to
pity.
do? Yeah,
What to
it
do?
would be good. It will be good to provide information from this region to the other countries
Yes,
from
exactly,
Africa.
exactly, exactly,
That's
exactly.
yeah.
Oh, I thought I thought it would be really nice to have them all joining. And also, like it's
It's
the
always
first meeting. It's so
challenging.
important, no? It's so important
Yeah.
to join the first meeting to really understand what it's about, what are the next steps, what are the exercises, and so on.
So I will.
Okay, so
I will
you are the
be.
boss. No, you had the governor representative today.
It happens. It's always challenging when it comes to the, working with the countries, national
Yeah,
level,
yeah.
etc.
I
I
know. We
know
know
all
they're
this.
busy. We know they're busy
Yeah.
and so on, but it's at least, yeah, at least, yeah. I mean, we
Yeah, it's
also,
sorry,
yeah.
it's really challenging. Yeah.
But Lesotho
Yeah,
and
so I'm
Zimbabwe will come,
waiting
right,
for you.
Sheila?
Yes,
Yeah,
they are.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
just sent
Okay,
another reminder, so they should be able
okay.
to join now.
Good, 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 good.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. This
I'm
is
really
our.
excited about this. I'm really, I'm
Yeah,
really
I
excited about
am.
this.
I just wanted to tell you how I am excited and how
Me
I'm really
too.
sad because this cancellation,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
I think this could be really interesting. and it is first one on adaptation, but I believe we will have more.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know,
I think
it's like now leave time in institutions, etc. That's maybe some countries did
yeah,
not confirm
true.
this time, but for next round,
think so
probably we
too.
will have some countries interested in this.
I
You
think
know,
so
and
too.
also, yeah, this is the first BTR, you know, and some countries, specifically Bosnia and Herzegovina, still is working on that. So in the next year, the situation, and with the BTR2, the situation will be much better. In regards of submission of adaptation chapters, of comprehensiveness of the information, etc. So
I'm trying to reach out to these countries. Yeah. Yes, I can see Lesotho has joined. So let me see. Yeah, so Team Lesotho, thank you so much for joining. We are waiting for Zimbabwe to join, then we can start the meeting. I'm trying to get in touch. Just a few minutes. Okay, thank you. So I'm in touch with the team and they are joining as soon as possible. They told me they got an emergency from their leaders to join a press conference. So that's why they were not able to make it on time, but they had prepared. So they are joining, but they were just moving to the venue where the press conference was. That's why they were not able to join in time, but they are going to join now. So thank you so much. I can see two people have joined. I'm not very sure if they are from Zimbabwe because the names I have are different from the names I see here. But I can be guided. Neo and Neko, are they from Zimbabwe?
Film productions. Lesotho.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So Team Zimbabwe is joining very soon. I think they are trying to join. That's what they have just told me. When they join, we shall start.
Hello, Sheila.
Hello, Mr.
Hello.
Kabel.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm, is the meeting going to run until 3 p.m.?
No, it's not actually a long meeting. It is a short meeting because also the other country has apologized. So the program is a little short, but we thought we would start when Zimbabwe is here because you'll be learning together. So that's why, but it's not going to run for 2 hours. It might be
Okay.
less than 2 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Just a few minutes as they join, then we
Mr.
I cannot tell what has really happened to Team Zimbabwe because their network is now not on. Maybe they have network challenges. I don't know what my team can recommend because at the moment we only have the adaptation team from Lesotho. I don't know what we can do.
Yeah, good question, Sheila. I mean, it would be nice to have all countries here. And Bosnia has also cancelled, but Lesotho already took time in their calendars. I don't know, Sajana, from your perspective, would it be advisable to reschedule, or should we move ahead and then share information online? It just, yeah, it's just quite nice to, would be nice to have all the countries here for the kickoff.
Just one question, Sheila, is Zimbabwe still coming, or they canceled totally?
No, they have not cancelled. They are telling me they have network challenges because they were moving. But as you may be aware, she had shared her presentation with us.
Yeah.
So she was telling me that maybe I can flash her presentation, but also, you know, she also needs to understand how the mutual learning will be flowing for her to get the insight. And the colleague is also in a very poor network area. He was trying to join, but he could not get online.
Maybe to go with today's event, since I have presentation from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and also I have a good knowledge and understanding of the national situation when it comes to the adaptation. So we can take that under consideration, since I can also represent the country, but from the aspect of the exercise, I hope really that Zimbabwe will join, will be able to join in order to hear instructions for the exercise and inside information about the exercise. So if that's not possible, then we have to postpone. It's on Zimbabwe now.
Yeah, because now they are not responding to the messages. And I had talked to them, they were saying they are joining, but now it seems they cannot. They told me they were in a poor network.
Let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes more and then decide maybe to postpone this for another day. What do you think?
Good idea. Yeah, and really apologies to Lesotho colleagues to stretch their patience.
Unfortunately,
it would be really
the
nice
entire
to have...
team from Lesotho is here, and
Yes, I was feeling that we should give them the instructions, and then maybe we can, like the way you are going to take Bosnia through, we can request Zimbabwe, you take them through, so that the next session they can work together. Since the team from Lesotho is here, because they have already marked their calendar, it would be unfair for them to create another time.
Yes, really, you're right. So that's
I was thinking we could continue with Lesotho. I will just provide guidance for them to have an understanding, like you are going to take through Bosnia, and you can also create time for Zimbabwe for instructions, and then we can continue.
Yes, that's a good idea. And then we can also, the meeting is recorded, right? And we can also share the recording with the country teams afterwards, and you can follow up with Zimbabwe and Bosnia and Herzegovina individually after the session. But let's just let's just do it.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining Team Lesotho. So we were supposed to start by introducing ourselves. So I will be moderating the session. I would like to introduce my colleagues, Susan and Slajana. They will be introducing themselves later along the way, but I just wanted, before I can I can then take you through the first part of the session, which is just an overview of the presentation. And then and then you'll introduce yourself after. Maybe we can, since we are one country now, we can first ask you to introduce yourself maybe. Then we can start here. Over to you, team leader for Lesotho. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mme Sheila, Mme Suzanne, and Mme Bundalu. Okay, my name is Lebo Hankabel. I'm a project technical coordinator for Lesotho's BTR. So may my colleagues introduce themselves, and may you switch on the camera and then switch it off after the introduction. Thank you. Ndateneo. Ndateneko. Mejoki. Yeah, mutete me.
Sorry about that. I'm Mara Lebohabotu from the Lesotho Meteorological Services in the Climate Change Unit. Yeah, we work hand in hand with Mr. Gabello. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Neo Makhalemeli. I worked with the Department of, Commission of Water, Ministry of Natural Resources. I'm a senior water resource engineer, climate change and hydrological modeler. Thank you, colleagues.
Good day, everyone. My name is Retsepile Neko. I work for the Early Warning Systems Phase 2 project as a meteorological technician. The project is implemented by Lesotho Meteorological Services. Thank you.
We are remaining with one, I think. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tepanse Otla. I work in the Ministry of Natural Resources in the Department of Water Affairs, Hydrology Division as an assistant hydrologist. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Kanule. I work for the Lesotho Meteorological Services in the Climate Change Unit. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So now I will hand over to Susan to provide some opening remarks from our side as we continue with the program. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, and good to see you all, colleagues. Thanks to the colleagues from Lesotho for joining us today. We thought we would be more countries, but it's really good to have you here at least, and I think it would still be good session and a good program ahead. And hopefully next time we will have the other countries, so to say your peers, here present as well. Yes. So a very warm welcome to this kickoff of the mutual learning program on strengthening adaptation reporting. My name is Susanne Conrad. As you can see, I'm a transparency specialist at the UNEP Copenhagen Climate Center, based in Copenhagen, and working on the CBIT-GSP project. In case you haven't heard about CBIT-GSP before, CBIT-GSP stands for Capacity Building Initiative for Transparency Global Support Program. So it's a global CBIT project to support countries in the transition to the ETF. It's funded by GEF and implemented by UNEP and executed by the UNEP Copenhagen Climate Center. And the kind of the core of the CBIT-GSP project are the transparency networks. So so all developing countries around the world are covered by transparency networks, which are organized by region and language. And a key of these transparency networks is really to foster peer learning. And so the overall objective also of the CBIT-GSP is really to have the South-South learning element. So that's Yeah, so that's really, really important. And yeah, we were supposed to have 2 networks present here, but at least we have Sajana from the Eurasia network here as a coordinator of the network, but today also presenting on behalf of Bosnia and Herzegovina as one of her countries. And we have, of course, Sheila from the Anglophone Africa network. And it's really good to have this cross-network collaboration and to learn from different countries with different settings and different stages in adaptation reporting. Yeah, so we're really happy to launch this mutual learning program today, and on the very important subject of adaptation reporting. Also to give you a bit of background on the mutual learning program, Sheila will also provide more slides on that, but just quickly on this mutual learning program. We call it MLP just because it's shorter and it's easier to say. So it's basically a program that combines kind of hands-on exercises for you, but also then having online sessions over the course of a couple of months, and you will be guided by an expert. Slajana Bondalo, you see here, is our adaptation expert, so we will be mostly working with her also on the exercises, and so really happy about this important program. We've implemented similar programs in other networks before, also in Eurasia, but also in the Central Asia and Caucasus network. But there it was mostly focused on mitigations, on filling the CTF tables, and we are really happy now to launch for the first time the MLP on adaptation. So you will be our guinea pigs, but rest assured we will take good care of you, and it will be a good session overall. So this MLP is the first time on adaptation, and as you also know, adaptation is a voluntary section in the BTR. Countries are still encouraged to report on it, to kind of facilitate understanding on adaptation progress, both at the national level but also at the global level, also in line with the global goal on adaptation. And we really hope that this program will help guide you in the adaptation reporting in the BTRs going forward. And really appreciating Lesotho being here. We also looking forward to have Zimbabwe and Bosnia and Herzegovina joining the program hopefully next time. And we also really encourage you to engage throughout the program and to really make use of it. You're also always welcome to reach out to us if you have any questions, any doubts for the exercises. Of course, Sajana or Sheila will be ready to help. So really make use of it, of this session. And I'm just really looking forward to this MLP. And without much further ado, we can get started. Back to you, Sheila.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm happy to announce that Emily is here from Zimbabwe. I hope, she told me her network is really very poor. I hope she's hearing us. And if she can also take a moment to introduce herself, would be glad to see her face. I can understand that her network is poor and she's traveling, but would appreciate at least to hear from her. We have seen the message from you apologizing, Emily. Kindly unmute if you can and speak. Thank you. Okay, it seems she's not able to unmute, but she is hearing us, and we are glad that she was able to join amidst some challenges. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So next on program, we wanted to request that we take a group photo. If you can turn on your cameras. And give us your smile. I'll be able to take the first photo. Waiting for the other members to turn on their cameras. Yeah, thank you. I've taken the first shot, but I will take another one since someone has smiled again. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So I will go ahead and provide a general overview of what the mutual learning approach is like. It is a short presentation, but just trying to give it a clear understanding before we can deep dive in. So this mutual learning will be specifically focusing on strengthening adaptation reporting. And like we had mentioned, we have two networks, Anglophone Africa, where we have Lesotho and Zimbabwe, and then from Euro-Asia, we have Bosnia. And then this is our first kickoff meeting, and we hope that we shall have a recording that we can share with colleagues who are not yet here today, who are not able to be with us here today. So what is mutual learning program? Like Susan had mentioned, today we are launching the first one for adaptation reporting, but we have had several other mutual learning programs in other technical areas like mitigation assessment and NDC. So about mutual learning approach, it is designed to support countries through hands-on approach, enabling countries to learn by practicing with real exercises through learning by doing. But countries are usually learning and discussing with each other in detail, especially focusing on the subject matter. Now this one will be adaptation reporting, and sessions are facilitated by an expert. And for this adaptation reporting, our expert is Lajana, who will be introducing herself later on. Yes, so mutual learning approach is a platform that provides free sharing, exchange, practical knowledge, and advancing BTR preparation. And I know for some of the countries, this is really timely. And then addressing related challenges in BTR reporting for the adaptation chapter. But also it is a very good opportunity to provide some recommendations and then future collaboration with some countries within the network, but also since now we have south to south learning, this is very interesting. So we, generally the program aims at improving developing countries' understanding on how they can apply adaptation reporting, which is based on modalities, procedures, and guidelines. So we are going to be focusing on the MPGs. But just to emphasize that this specific mutual learning program is limited to adaptation reporting rather than addressing the whole chapter of adaptation impact and loss and damage. So the objective of this mutual learning is to help support participating countries to through their journey towards developing their BTR section. We know that some countries have already developed their BTR section, but BTR2 is also underway. We can learn a few things here and there. And of course, we are going to be using MPGs as our main guidelines to enable learning. But mainly we shall be focusing on progress on implementation of adaptation, section E of adaptation related to MPGs, and then monitoring and evaluation of adaptation actions and processes, mainly focusing on section F of adaptation related MPGs. So other specific objectives include potential improvements in adaptation reporting, enhance understanding of the structure and reporting elements outlined in the MPGs, and then facilitate tailored exercises and brainstorming sessions on adaptation reporting, identifying information and data gaps for comprehensive and transparent reporting, but most importantly, promote the development of national systems to track progressive reporting in implementing and achieving climate change adaptation reporting. So as you have heard from Susan, she had highlighted about where the structure of adaptation reporting comes in, but just to reemphasize is that the BTR adaptation section provides information related to climate change impact and adaptation under Article 7 of the Paris Agreement, as well as information on loss and damage under Article 8. So generally, the chapter is expected to serve as a tool for tracking, implementation, and effectiveness of adaptation actions and informing the global stocktake of collective processes towards the global goal on adaptation. And therefore, the mutual learning program aims to improve understanding of all that supporting developing countries on how to apply the adaptation reporting in the BTR as provided for based on the modalities, procedures, and guidelines. So the program is usually structured in different phases. And today, from the time we launched, when we sent you an email, we intended to have a kickoff meeting where we were expecting countries to come, introduce this program. Then countries would provide like a short presentation. It can even be a verbal presentation, and then also provide some highlights on guidance and methodological approaches for reporting adaptation progress and M&E in line with MPGs. And also wanted to introduce to you the first exercise that you'll be working on before we can meet for that next session. So the next session will be about around 25th of September, but countries can also agree on the most convenient time where we can have some presentation on the exercise, which you will receive guidance, and then explanation of the answers to questions, and then introduce the second exercise. So the other part of the program, we anticipate that it will be around 16th October, but we can also agree on the most convenient time for countries, where countries will now present the results from the second exercise, explanation to answers, discussions, review of the program. But all these exercises are towards kind of completing the chapter for adaptation in the BTR. So today's program, as you had seen, I'm moderating the session. Susan provided some of the key opening remarks. We took our photo. So we had our introduction, and then I have provided a general overview, and then we shall have my colleague Slajana, who will provide also a general overview on the MPGs for adaptation reporting and link how this is well linked to the program. And then we shall have countries provide their short presentations, and then we shall have guidance on the exercise as our next session, and then we shall wrap up the session. So I can stop here. Thank you so much. I think now I can hand over to the next session. If we don't have any questions, I can hand over to Slajana. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Sheila, for this very nice introduction. And as you both already said, my name is Slajana Bundalo, and I'm a regional network coordinator for the Euro-Asia, and also adaptation expert within our CBIT-GSP team. So since we have just Lesotho's team, I really want to make any pressure or stress on you, since you are only country representatives now. But just to maybe see this as one nice opportunity for you, since you have us just for you, and you can ask all questions and make comments in order to clarify your adaptation reporting within the BTR. So let's see this as an opportunity, and let's hope that countries will be able to join us in the next sessions, where we will have very interesting discussions and exchanges of experiences in adaptation reporting. I know that Lesotho still did not submit its BTR1, as well as Bosnia and Herzegovina, but Zimbabwe submitted out of this group of the countries. So I was really curious about their BTR and their adaptation chapter, and I walked through briefly through their BTR, and it's excellent that they reported adaptation in their first BTR. But also just to say that we are a bit surprised of how many countries, especially developing countries, reported their adaptation in their first BTRs. Since we did not expect that, but it seems that countries really interested to report on that, to inform international community about their situation in regards to vulnerabilities, risks, impacts of negative climate change, and their activities in context of the adaptation process within national context. So I will share shortly my presentation about really brief introduction about adaptation BTR guidance. So sections just related to the adaptation. So I'll try to be as brief as it's possible, since this is a very detailed chapter, and lots of paragraphs of the MPG are related to adaptation, and we cannot go now into details, but just to remind you that we have organized entire series of the webinars for countries of Eurasia and Africa, where we discussed and showed actually details about reporting of adaptation within the BTR in accordance to the MPGs, and went through all sections, all questions that are posed within by the guidance, to provide you more clarity on what and how to report adaptation within your BTR. And I hope that some of you have participated in these sessions. However, this will be just a brief overview focusing section E and F, which are targeted by our exercise. Do you see my slides? Hopefully, yes. I will put now the full screen.
Yes, we can see the slide.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So as you all know, the BTR is transparency-oriented report, and it has to be produced by countries every 2 years and submitted to UNFCCC. And it is a key component of the ETF, Enhanced Transparency Framework, that has replaced previous framework called MRV, or Monitor, Review and Verification. And its aim actually is to operationalize transfer of information from country parties to UNFCCC, specifically mitigation, then adaptation, loss and damage, and support they have provided or received. So this is the first time that actually we have this comprehensive and detailed guidelines on adaptation reporting, especially about adaptation results, monitoring and evaluation, and one totally new chapter on loss and damage, for which we did not have any structured guidelines by now. So just to say briefly that BTR replaced both biennial reports for Annex 1 and biennial update reports for non-Annex 1 countries, which means that all countries now are using the same guidance, and that's also applicable for adaptation reporting. And also, just to say that not all instruments from the previous arrangements of communicating of adaptation will be replaced by BTRs, because national adaptation plans will remain active, and countries will continue to prepare and submit national communications every 4 years. In context of adaptation reporting, it's important to say that in the communication instruments to the UNFCCC can be divided into a broad group of instruments: planning-oriented and reporting-oriented, where planning-oriented aim to communicate forward-looking information like adaptation ambitions, priorities, and plans, while reporting-oriented instruments provide backward-looking information, results, progress towards the goals, implementation, results of the planned actions, etc., etc. So you can see here on the bottom of these slides that within the planning-oriented communication documents, we see NDC in context of adaptation, that there is adaptation component of the NDC, then national adaptation plans, adaptation communication, and equivalent national adaptation plans and strategies, which are more or less same as the NAPs, but they are related to plans prepared by countries not eligible for NAP process, like developed countries or Annex 1 countries. In the other hand, we have also reporting-oriented instruments, national communications, BTR, and adaptation communication. And as I said, they aim to provide information on progress towards established goals in implementing of your adaptation process at the national level. I'm telling you this because it's very much relates to the information that you have to provide within the BTR adaptation chapter of BTR. And here is also a very interesting table overview of different communication instruments related to adaptation, with information requested by the guidance for each specific instrument. So here you can see overview of information requested by each of these adaptation reporting arrangements between within the UNFCCC, like BTR, adaptation communications, national adaptation plans, national communications for Annex 1 parties, and national communications for non-Annex parties, since in some certain areas these guidelines are a bit different. So this, since adaptation reporting represents a bit a challenge for the developing countries, since of lack of information, weak institutional capacities, exchange of information, etc., etc. So this can serve as a guide for all of you intend to communicate adaptation in BTR, since you can use just what you have already reported through adaptation communication, through your national adaptation plans and national communications. So you can use just this information, and if you have maybe some updates on your plans, measures, etc., not previously reported in your adaptation communication and NAPs, etc., you can add this information in your BTR adaptation chapter of BTR. So this is maybe could be interesting for you, since your team for sure working on adaptation chapter of BTR. So the adaptation reporting under this new ETF brought certain changes, since adaptation reporting oversees significant enhancement of reporting guidelines. So BTR guidelines, or MPGs, are more complete, more detailed than any previous regarding the communicating adaptation. And also the BTR provides you opportunity to increase frequency of your adaptation reporting. And with the BTR, you have opportunity to report on adaptation every 2 years. And It is important to stress here also that reporting adaptation within the BTR is voluntary, and all elements of the guidance are also voluntary. So preparing adaptation BTR is entirely country-driven exercise, meaning that countries can report on adaptation on a way which is more suitable to their national circumstances or institutional arrangements or whatever way they consider better for them. Majority of the requests regarding the preparation of the adaptation BTR, in guidelines you can see prefix parties should. So this means that this is just a suggestion to fulfill that request if countries can, but they are not obliged to do. As I said, adaptation communication within information within the BTR is totally voluntary. Also, some of the requests use prefix parties may. So this prefix or this request is less stringent and means that this request is considered entirely optional and not necessarily to be to include requested information. So this is an overview of the guidelines for the adaptation BTR. So you can see from this figure here that adaptation reporting follows different stages of national adaptation process, which includes at first identify vulnerability, profile and context, meaning providing background information. So for any planning exercise, you need to assess your situation, to provide some background to assess and based on that information to conclude what are the priorities and targets which is followed in the MPGs by the section C, which asks countries to provide information about priorities, goals, and targets. Then in section D, to decide on adaptation efforts, meaning to provide prioritized information about the strategies, policies, plans, goals, and actions to integrate adaptation in national policies and strategies. And finally, section E and F ask countries to provide information about results of their adaptation. I will focus more on these two sections in my next slide, but just generally to say that they aim to ensure information on the progress of implementation of adaptation and monitoring and implementation, and to evaluate results of entire adaptation process of adaptation in your country. So this is like some chapters that follows strictly your adaptation process, but also alongside with the guidelines. We also have here a new section, section G, in green line here on this slide, which asks countries to provide information about loss and damage. And as I said previously, contains for the first time detailed guidance on how to report on this. And also section H contains guidelines for the reporting on related activities that support adaptation, meaning cooperation, good practices, experiences, and lessons learned. Section I provides possibility to countries to provide any other information related to climate adaptation, which is not reported in the previous section. So let's focus now about our sections E and F. The first section, E, requests countries to provide information on progress on implementation of adaptation and also on effectiveness of international support. So we have here two paragraphs. 110 requires information about implementation of adaptation actions identified in your section D of the guidelines. Then implementation of national adaptation plans, strategies, and policies, implementation of adaptation actions, also specifically request information about implementation of adaptation actions that are identified in your adaptation component of the NDC, and implementation adaptation actions that could be categorized as established new institutional arrangements, new legislation, regulation, etc., etc. So this can be interpreted to mean that reporting on progress on implementation is relevant to all forms of adaptation actions. And additionally, for adaptation programs, strategies, and policies, the bullet point B here asks countries to provide information about the steps they have taken to formulate, implement, entire process on how you formulated and how implemented, published, and update your programs, strategies, etc. One can think that this is specific, actually, a reference to national adaptation plans. So it may be a certain hint that national adaptation plans are the primary target for this request. To mean this request, countries could aim to provide a description of entire process of formulating, executing, and updating their relevant actions. But to clearly indicate the implementation status of actions, countries can provide specific process and output indicators showing the level of implementation. So in selecting the indicators, countries could choose to use indicators that are specific for adaptation actions being reported on. So the indicators that could describe the milestones reached by certain action. For instance, if you are implementing or your adaptation goal is to reduce drought risk, and you implemented some irrigation measures, then you can simply quantify this as a number of hectares of newly irrigated areas. Or if you build a flood protection wall, you can mention that or report that you built like 300 meters of flood protection wall. So also, in addition to this, countries can use descriptive categories just begun for implementation of certain measures, early phase of implementation, advanced phase, etc. So also paragraph 111, asking for information about results and successes of internationally supported actions, and how these results and achievements compare to actions' initial objectives. So here is opportunity for you to report on adequacy of international support you received, and also to provide information about the effectiveness internationally supported adaptation. Also, I will now go through to the section F. which main purpose of guidelines for the section F is to ensure that countries provide information about results of adaptation, specifically adaptation that is calculated by monitoring and evaluation process. So also this chapter asks for information on how these results were determined and to be transparent about the, where this information comes from. So in terms of results here, it is observed, it means on outcomes and impacts related to adaptation actions. So in general, results of our entire adaptation process. So any information about the results of adaptation presented in adaptation BTR in response to this request should be actually determined by some form of the monitoring and evaluation process. This information requested here ideally should include qualitative and quantitative indicators to complement qualitative data and descriptions. Next, also guidelines also ask countries to provide further evaluation of adaptation results to determine how successful adaptation actions have been, to assess effectiveness also and sustainability of implemented activities. Next, next is our explanation of our exercise. I would like to thank you and to ask you if you have any questions in regarding to what is presented in the previous slides. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, I think it's not a question per se, but I was saying the presentation to me and to us as Lesotho, I think it's an eye-opener. The information that we needed, because I think it will help us to now strategize on the parts that we are going to cover under the adaptation, because now it was still a ball that was not open, but I think through your presentation, we as a country can now be clear of what part of reporting are we going to take into consideration and prioritize, because like you are saying, adaptation is very wide and can be intensive. So we need to be smart that we report what is really required and can be beneficial in terms of our status in adaptation. So what I can say and comment on the presentation is that one. Thank you.
Thank you very much on this comment. It's actually very important for countries to understand why to report on adaptation and how to report on adaptation. So I provided you this overview of all reporting tools with different information provided by different documents and reports consisting adaptation, just to give you an overview of information that you already have. But what you just said, it is really important to communicate your adaptation status and actually what have you already implemented and for what actually you need more support. So you probably are all aware that parties agreed establishment of the adaptation fund. So I hope that it will be operationalized very soon, and activities and needs related to adaptation in your countries in your BTR will be one starting point for definition of support and requesting support from the newly established adaptation fund. So thank you very much for this comment. Any other comments or questions? If not, then we can move to the next agenda items. Sheila, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was a very good presentation, and thank you for appreciating that it has given some clarity on the priority reporting areas based on national circumstances for Lesotho. So next on program, I don't know which country we can start with, whether we start with Lesotho or a presentation that is going to be made by Slajana for Bosnia and Herzegovina. So maybe we can start with Lesotho. Okay.
No problem.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's start with Lesotho. Over to you now.
Okay, thank you, Sheila. I think I wouldn't say it's a presentation per se. It's a talk. So you can see my slide. Eh?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So like it was indicated before we started, that is just an overview and a short presentation about Lesotho. So on the space of time, I think I directly responded to the guiding questions that were there, as this is an introductory, but I know and I'm sure that people we have here, they know where Lesotho is. So we are in the Southern Africa, completely locked by Republic of South Africa. So we fall in the category of a least developed country. We are a kingdom over and all, so with approximately 2 million people as our population. So diving into at least what was were the guiding questions, what was the main strategic framework for our national adaptation processes. So I think as a country and a member of UNFCCC, signatory into that, so it means the country has been in action to answer to the adverse impacts of climate change and trying to find ways on how to mitigate or adapt to it. So in our journey to respond to that, the country had a national report that was a NAPA, National Adaptation Plan of Action, which was developed in 2007. And to continue to that, Lesotho has undertaken the NAP process since 2015, if I remember well. And through that, we had developed various projects that respond to climate change adaptation. We also had a help from UNDP to do what we call an open NAP document that was will inform our national NAP document, which is under development and will be finalized soon. And we also have a climate change policy and other strategies that respond to means of adaptation to climate change. So basically, because I have just said that our NAP is under development, the main instrument that we have been using to communicate our adaptation actions, progress, and everything was through our national communications, which we have developed 3 so far. And this year, we are implementing a combined national communication with a BTR report. So it means we'll also be reporting our 4th national communication. So, like it was indicated, our BTR it is still under development. Hopefully, we'll develop, we will submit it. We have an ambition of submitting it this year in December or latest, which can be March 2026. That is what is planned, and hopefully we'll meet that deadline. So under the adaptation chapter, the plan was to cover the impacts, adaptation actions, loss and damage, and also includes a climate change projection so that we can do vulnerability and risk assessment of climate change. But I think from what we have just presented, we'll see how well can we present. This is what we have planned with the guidance that has been presented to us. So, like we know the challenges in terms of tracking, it has been tough, and then now into ETF, I think it will be simpler because of such guidelines. But we know the hard thing is that if you want to know the progress in adaptation, it is hard to measure or quantify. That's the key challenge that we face when we do adaptation assessments and on the progress made in terms of our adaptation. Also, for us to do that, we need a sustainable and efficient MRV system that can monitor and verify adaptation actions that are taking place in across the country. So it has been hard because it's a cross-cutting issue in terms of adaptation. It cuts across all the sectors. So we don't have a one-stop shop of a repository of adaptation actions that are taking place within the country. We only know of huge projects that are being implemented, so it is still a challenge. And then another thing that leads for challenge of reporting on the progress is that when we do adaptation, it does not have immediate impact, because even if you implement a project, we don't necessarily see the results immediately or during the implementation of the project, because for adaptation to take place, it's a process that needs some time. So that's how briefly I can go with the status of Lesotho. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know Silajana needs to get some clarification. I will give her the floor.
Okay.
Thank you, Sheila, and thank you very much for this very good presentation of your adaptation process in Lesotho. Excellent. I see that you started from NAPA and now developing your NAP, which is great, and probably that will enable you to easier report your adaptation in BTR, since you are already preparing information for your NAP. In context of your vulnerability and risk assessment exercise that you plan to do in context of the reporting of the BTR, just to say that for BTR is a backward-looking document and asks for backward information. So it asks you to inform on latest information on adaptation that you have. In that context, reporting on vulnerability and risk assessment, the last one that you have performed and provided information probably in third national communication, you can use and report that as the last update if that's the case. So for the purpose of the BTR, you don't have to perform new vulnerability and risk assessment, or you just can upgrade or update your previous assessment exercise that you performed for the purpose of communicating adaptation within the national communication. So, and then probably at a certain point of time when your national circumstances allows you to do and to perform, because it's costly, it requires engagement of the experts, the time is needed to collect and assess all information in that regard. So maybe you will be then able to report on, update your vulnerability and risk assessment in your BTR2. So just to clarify that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much for that clarification. I think it's a very good information, because now, like you are saying, to do the vulnerability assessment, and it's a quite an extensive assignment. So I think we'll take your advice that to refer back of what has been done now, because I think even in the NAP development, that exercise has been undertaken, so we can also extract information from that and then include it in here. Okay.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I saw Joki has hand up.
Yes, I think it was just after Mr. Kabelo presented, just to also compliment him to say that we also use our NDCs as another mode of reporting on our adaptation efforts. Our NDC normally has both the adaptation and the mitigation components. So yeah, we have so far done two NDCs, and both of them have the adaptation component. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you for that information. I think we shall add it there as one of the sources of information that we can use to track. Yes, so we had on the program that we are going to also have a presentation from Zimbabwe. I have the slides from Zimbabwe. I thought I would also take you through what Zimbabwe has prepared. I hope you will not ask me many questions, but let me go through. Yeah, so they had shared with us the slides, but they were not able to be with us. I hope Emily's connection is not yet on. But on the first part of the question about National Adaptation Strategic Framework, they are saying that they are using main guiding frameworks and goals, which include the National Climate Policy, which is for 2017, which is focusing on mainstreaming climate change into development planning, as well as enhancing adaptation and resilience. And then also the NAP, the National Adaptation Plan, which is focusing on reducing vulnerability, integrating adaptation in planning and budgetary processes. And then the National Development Strategy, which is, I think it's closing this year, which has a focus, a strategic area 1 on climate resilience as a cross-cutting theme. And then they also have a climate change response strategy, which was developed in 2014. It has sectoral adaptation actions, and they are also mentioning that their NDC 3.0 has economy-wide resilience. I think this is more of a forward-looking strategy. Then on part 2 of the question, reporting adaptation progress to UNFCCC. So the Zimbabwe has been reporting on adaptation progress through national communication, detailed climate impact and adaptation information. They have also reported in their first biannual transparency report. They have put there a chapter on adaptation, but also in key sections that included in the BTR on adaptation include climate risks and vulnerability in key sectors, for example, agriculture, health, and water. They also included some subsection on institutional frameworks for adaptation governance. They also included policies, measures, and implementation progress, and then also included a part where they have been able to do monitoring and evaluation approaches and indicators for their adaptation measures. Then on part 3, in terms of challenges and in tracking and reporting, they have mentioned a few challenges. They said several challenges. One is limited data availability and baseline information. Another one is fragmented institutional coordination. Another one is inadequate financial and technical resources. Another one is gaps in monitoring, reporting, and verification system, and then capacity constraints at local level. So this is what they were able to share with us, but I can see some of the challenges are the same, like about data, about some of the gaps in monitoring. So maybe let's hear from Bozania to hear what their key elements are. I will hand over to Slajan.
Thank you, Sheila. Bosnia and Herzegovina is also have a similar challenges as you just mentioned for Zimbabwe. So I will share the presentation now of Mr. Goran Trbic. He is actually the team leader for adaptation in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So I hope you can see my presentation now. So just clearly here is a small map just for you to see where Bosnia and Herzegovina is located in Southeast Europe in Balkan Peninsula. So you can see this small red part in this map. So that's Bosnia and Herzegovina, and very similarly as Lesotho, it's like a bit over 2 million inhabitants there. So it is a developing country, struggling and having very similar challenges as other developing countries, and as we just see and heard for Zimbabwe. So as of strategic framework of national adaptation process, here are listed some the most important strategies and plans, like climate change adaptation and low emission development strategy, which combines actually adaptation and mitigation or low emission development to support sustainable development and growth of the country. Then the next one is environmental strategy and action plan of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is actually very comprehensive and long-term framework covering all environment and intended and designed to guide environmental policy and actions across the country through the 2020-30 and beyond. Then just to mention that Bosnia and Herzegovina is one of the European countries that is in process of accession to European Union. And in that regard, these countries were requested for transposition of certain regulative framework from European Union. And here is one of these, just one example, which is highly related to adaptation. It is about transposition of water directive and flood directive that are transposed to domestic legislation, since countries here have a huge challenges and suffer highly from floods. When it comes to the adaptation reporting to the UNFCCC, Bosnia and Herzegovina, of course, as we heard for Lesotho and Zimbabwe, communicate adaptation through national communications, and the fifth one is under development along with the BTR1. Also, National Adaptation Plan is developed and adopted in 2023, and it has identified some priority sectors for adaptation, such as agriculture, water resources and management, forestry, biodiversity, tourism, human health, etc. Also, NDC 30 is under development and hopefully will be submitted very soon. And as well, BTR1 is under development. And as per latest information, they expect to finish in September this year, and for sure before the next COP. And the chapters that adaptation BTR part will include are national circumstances, climate change impacts, risks and vulnerabilities, adaptation priorities and barriers, plans and strategies, adaptation progress and the monitoring and evaluation, and cooperation and good practice. So here are some challenges in tracking and reporting adaptation process. One of the challenges is that the climate shifts are very rapid, as well as future uncertainties, and they require updates, regular updates, and redefinition of adaptation measures, which is not case in the country, obviously. Although, the country have the strategic framework for adaptation, translation of the strategies into action is very slow because of the administrative bottlenecks and limited enforcement. Also, the climate risks are not widely understood, and adaptation is often not prioritized as in local development agendas. Also, adaptation, as you know, requires cross-sectoral collaboration, but planning in Bosnia and Herzegovina often remains isolated and focused just on the sectoral, individual sectors. Then also there are overlapping mandates and weak coordination about the ministries and agencies across the entities and vertical district that hinder actions, unified actions. Also, one of the challenges, similar as is in most of the developing countries, is lack of consistent climate data and limited technical expertise, which affects vulnerability assessment and adaptation planning. And of course, limited financial resources are seen as a key barrier to implementing adaptation measures effectively. Bosnia and Herzegovina, when it comes to the institutional arrangements, and legal framework, is one specific country which is consisted of two entities, of which each has its own ministry for environment and has a jurisdiction for planning, implementing and reporting of any climate issue. And just one state body at the state level has just coordinating role and just serves as a connection or provides communication with international bodies and organizations. So it is very hard to align wishes and plans in both entities. And also, yes, there is a one city, Batko district, which is separate city. So there is two levels, actually three sub-regional, subnational levels for adoption and agreement on certain activities, policies, and plans. And then after they agree, then the adoption is necessary also at the state level. So the complex administrative structure really hinders any climate action planning, etc., in the context of the climate change. So I will stop here. I hope that it was comprehensive and understandable for you. And if you have any question for Bosnia and Herzegovina case, I'm able to answer, since I was participating in certain adaptation activities and planning plans in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you.
Yes, so thank you so much. The floor is open. Let's wait for a few questions before we can go to the last session.
No, all I can say, I can see that I think the reporting part, it's a standard way of reporting. There is no difference. Even on the challenges, I can see that the major thing is on the measurement, data availability to track our progress. So all the three countries share the same sentiments, and I think somehow we'll learn from each other on how to do that and improve our reporting on adaptation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So we are going to our second last session, which is explaining the exercise that countries will be undertaking. So maybe Slajana will take Lesotho through, but we shall organize other sessions with other countries. They will be taken through. And then maybe later, when she has finished, we can also agree on the dates, but we had already proposed the dates for the other sessions and booked your calendars. If you have any problem with the dates, you can let us know so that we change. So I will hand over to Slajana. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. I will try to be as brief as it is possible, since I consider this is very simple to explain. I'll share just a few slides with you. Can you see here the slides? Actually, for the first exercise within the this mutual learning program, we actually prepared one big Excel table with several sheets, and we will ask you to provide certain information focusing on section E and section F. First sheet of this Excel file is asking you actually to, it is just check-in table consisting all paragraphs for reporting adaptation between within the BTR, and we ask you just to check here whether this is covered, whether the specific information will be included or is already included in your BTR. So here you can option to select yes, no, partially, etc. So this is just a checklist that will provide us with an overview of what you have already reported within your BTR, or what you intend, or for what you have possibility, technical or informational, etc., to provide information. What do you plan to provide as an information in your BTR? So this is the first part of the exercise one. So for the next sheet, I just excluded MPG provisions, just those related to section A and F, like on reporting adaptation process progress and reporting on monitoring and evaluation. And when we share this Excel document with you, you will see here all sections or paragraphs related to these two sections of adaptation reporting, and what actually exercise is to provide description here, what information you have provided about the specific issue, like for instance, here steps to taken to formulate, implement, publish, and update national and regional programs, strategies, and measures, etc., etc. So to put here just short description what you have reported or what you have, what you intend possibly and have possibility to include here as an information. So all these, if you did not include or do not have possibility to include that in your next or first BTR, you can put you can just put here NA or not available. So I hope this is clear, and it will be more clear when we share with you this Excel sheet with the exercise. So I will also mention some milestones in this. So we expect from you to submit exercise by 10th of September 2025. And then in the shared Google folder, you will have opportunity to review reports of exercises from your peer countries. For instance, Lesotho will review report or information provided by Zimbabwe and Bosnia and Herzegovina, and provide some questions and comments. And we expect you to finalize this review by September 20th. So then, based on what you have reported in these tables, and you will prepare one presentation with results, with information, shortly describing information provided in the tables, and to answers on questions and comments provided by peer countries to your report. So first technical meeting we plan for 25th September. And by then, we expect you to submit your exercise, to make comments on exercises of other countries, other two countries. And then we will have a meeting where you will present your first exercise and explain and answer to questions and discuss on certain topics. And at the end, we will introduce you to the second exercise. So I hope this is clear, but however, please feel free to ask any questions in this regard.
Yeah, can we go on the first slide, I think.
On the first slide, I can also share the original Excel sheet, but okay, I'll go on the first slide. Just a second. This one?
Yeah.
This is just checklist. As I explained, it consists of all paragraphs related to adaptation reporting in BTR. So is there something which is not clear here?
Okay, I think now you have just cleared it because I wanted to know if we are going to select the answers that will be provided within the document, or we have to come up with our answers.
Yes, yes. This will be very easy since the answers are very simple. Yes, no, partially, etc. So you will have offered answers here.
Okay.
It is Excel sheet. Yeah.
Okay. No, now it's clear.
Okay, thank you.
Just to provide more clarification, it has a drop down. So when you put
Yes.
select, it will be providing for you options to choose.
Exactly.
Okay. Then from that, I think all it's clear for me.
The next one is about the description, but description of information that you are reported or plan to report, but just on the sections E and F. So nothing special. And here are some milestones. So we will share these presentations with you. So and also one Google Drive with all documents inside and with the original Excel sheet for the exercise. So it will be easier, much easier to understand when you open the document, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if there are no more questions, I will stop here and over to you, Sheila.
Yeah, thank you so much. Maybe the last part was to wrap up, to find out if the dates that you have provided for are okay with the countries, or if they are proposing any other dates. So before we can wrap up, yeah.
Can you display them again?
Around September.
Yeah, it's 10th of September.
20th September.
I think they give us enough time. Not speaking for Zimbabwe and Bosnia though, but I think for us, we still have a full month to work on our schedule. So for me, for now, the dates are okay.
Yeah, thank you. So because within that very time, there's also time for you to review the other countries. So within the month of September, I think that's where you have some work. But we shall share that document of the schedule, but we shall also be reminding you about those dates when it's almost time.
Okay.
Okay, apart from that, I would like to really thank you for participating in this. And we are recording this, so we shall make the recording available for all the countries, but we shall also make an effort to reach out to the other countries. I can assure you the countries had agreed to participate. So I think it was reasons beyond beyond them that they were not able to participate. But as you can see, they had prepared presentations. So we are going to follow up, and I think in the next session they will be with us. So do not feel like you are left out. And we are looking forward because we are really launching adaptation mutual learning as you are the first countries to participate. So we expect that it's impactful. And for you, I think it has come at a very good time since you are in your process of developing your first BTR, so you can actually use this as a process of developing that chapter. So would like to thank you so much. We meet in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. When will the documents be availed in the Google Drive?
Today.
Okay. Yeah,
today. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Don't worry.
Okay, I think on behalf of Lesotho, like Sheila said, this is a good time since we are developing our BTR. I think this mutual learning will be very, very, very important for us. So thank you, CBIT-GSP.
Thank you and bye-bye. See you in the next session.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for participating and for being brave today as the only country in participating. But have a great day and looking forward to our next meeting. Goodbye to all.
Goodbye.
Bye.